At its inception, the internet was created as one of the greatest inventions in human history. It connected the world and allowed people from all walks of life to be able to speak and communicate with each other. Now, it was used a lot differently at its inception. Chat rooms and just basic communication is kind of what ran the internet. It was much more simple than it was today and much less accessible. It was, at its core, a tool for communication. As the internet has evolved and changed, it has grown from being this facet of human connection to a mindless conglomeration of every possible thing you can think of. And now most of it is not even coming from humans. This is concerning. Social media is one of the most pivotal creations in the internet. It is what began to make what was once chat rooms and small communities that would speak to each other into something where every single person in the earth, or nearly every person in the earth, was connected and immediately able to see each other and update and post whatever they please. At its inception, it was a lot more innocent than it is now. It was filled with people just wanting to connect with relatives and friends and posting videos or pictures or any thought they had online to their audience. There was no concept of an influencer. There were celebrities, but they weren't going to be on your Facebook. But as the internet evolved and as social media grew and became profitable and creators began to make livings off of making content for social media, the internet began to change for the worse and for what it is now. It grew into a business, and as any business functions, it has evolved and changed its trends and found new ways to innovate and capture attention and make money. It is vastly different to enter the internet today than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. The internet today is a cesspool of content grabbing for your attention for a moment, so you'll interact with it and then forget it immediately. The internet today is marketed more towards kids than it ever was before, as kids are a great scheme for making money and they get obsessed. And as kids function, they are able to engage and spend more time on apps like YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, where they can scroll mindlessly for hours and make companies millions of dollars by selling their attention and their attention spans. Children today are spending copious amounts of time on social media and giving their full attention to influencers and AI and apps and those sorts of attention grabbing things. And it is becoming a sort of epidemic. While I don't think it's good for anyone to be spending this much time online, I think it's even worse for children whose brains are developing to be spending half of their lives behind the screen, interacting and seeing people that they don't know, that they don't have a real social connection to, and forming these relationships with their content and the content that they find in general. Social media has grown and changed, and it has brought us to a point in history unlike any other. We are able to speak and connect and talk with anyone in the world at any given time, access almost any information that can be imagined, and have these machines that can teach us almost anything. Yet we use our time to watch pointless videos that we will forget within minutes. It's like going to the biggest library in the world and just reading the posters on the door over and over again. There's so much untapped potential with the internet and social media that is just laid to waste. And especially for children, this is something that they don't know any better than to interact with it in the way they already are. One of the biggest concerns within social media is the short form content epidemic that has grasped almost every social media site you can come across. You won't find videos much longer than a minute on these platforms, which is very concerning because those types of videos are what's appealing to children. Short form content, in my mind, it is not good. If you go back and look at, kids watching TV shows, and, when I was a kid, I would watch long form YouTube videos and TV shows. You can make an argument that, yeah, I was just sitting and watching something, but I was at least paying attention to something for a prolonged amount of time. With the short form content and scrolling epidemic that is facing these children, they have dopamine receptors going off in their brains every 6 seconds, and it is affecting them in their lives outside of social media. They are unable to pay attention to anything for any amount of time because they are so used to quick videos that explain everything immediately and just get to the point, and they don't have to think about anything because as soon as they're done with what they hear, it's over. With a movie per se, you spend a lot of time with it. You are watching it and absorbing it as you enjoy it, and when you're done with a movie, you have a lot more time to just think about it. With social media, you don't. You watch a quick video and it is over and done with, and you don't have to sit with it. You don't have to spend any time with it. I think boredom is one of the most important things a person can have, especially a young kid. Children aren't getting the opportunity to find something to do to entertain themselves now, because that entertainment is already there and it's on their phones. And why would they go outside if they can get these insane dopamine hits and this pure, what they think is enjoyment, just sitting down and not having to think? It's affecting their problem-solving skills, their social skills. It's affecting these kids in every possible way. Social media inhibits behaviors that you would not see in real life. People speak horribly to each other online. The way you talk online is from a safe space, and you have no immediate danger. No one's going to punch you if you say something you shouldn't. And these kids are learning this very quickly. They've never had to interact with someone face to face. They can leave a comment and run away and no issue comes to them. Only possibly used for negative things. When done right, you can find many educational videos and learn a lot. I think, like I said, the internet is possibly the greatest tool ever. You can learn anything and achieve anything and figure out anything you need. The problem is it's not being used to do that. If kids were, say, watching hour-long history videos, that would be a much less concerning problem than them watching TikToks all day. The internet can be used for good, and it should be. The problem is it's not. If you look at a YouTube Shorts account trained for a child, it will be filled with the most short attention span grabbing and cheaply produced just AI content that provides no value whatsoever and just harms these kids. It isn't right for children to be interacting with the machine more than they are with the world around them. They are being trapped by these short form content loops and degrading these important developmental cycles that children should be going through by not, stimulating their brain and following social media and by not using their brains, they are effectively missing out on important developments to becoming a adult. And I am concerned about these children who are entering adulthood guided by social media, because they're not growing into people that can interact with the world around them. I think it's important that parents are aware of the content their children are watching, because if you take one look at a lot of the children's content out there, it is horrible and it shouldn't be consumed by anyone. And if parents could be aware of this, and their kid doesn't have to have no screen time, but if they made their kids put that time towards something more productive, it would be monumental for the children. I think just spreading awareness that this epidemic of short form content attacking children is a real concern, and it's affecting many people. I think possibly schools should be doing something as well, possibly a class in social media literacy, or just some education for children on how to use smartphones and social media and the internet would be extremely beneficial. I think children should be protected, and they should be allowed to develop naturally and experience the world as they grow up. I don't think living on YouTube Shorts is good for humanity, much less these children. I think that in allowing kids to grow naturally is the most important thing we can do for the coming generation. And it would be a shame if they were allowed to just continue to consume slop content and AI content and just rot their brains day after day.